So in order to do our actual wall hanging, assemble the two pieces that we have, I'm going to use a third color. I'm thinking to use this electric pink. It will go nicely with these two colors. So what we have to do is, using our 6mm hook and our electric pink yarn from Hayfield, I'm just going to make sure I'm holding the right sides and wrong sides in the right place. So this is my right side and this is my wrong side. And again, this is my right side and wrong side. So I'm going to hold the right sides on the outside and the wrong sides inside. And then I'm going to make sure I've aligned them properly. And I can always use a stitch marker if you fancy, if you find it easier. But I'm going to start somewhere from the top here, from the top 3 trebles, so from the middle here, because I do want to come back over there when I go all the way around and make my loop and make it more even. Okay, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go onto the top of this treble here and through one layer first, and then through the other layer at the back, making sure that it's the same stitch in both the layers. And then I'm going to make a double crochet, which is a single crochet in the USA. Okay, and by the way, I forgot to mention, these yarns that are hanging out are actually going to be used for filling our project, and we don't want our project to be overfilled, so the yarns are enough, and it's a good eco-friendly way of just using what we have rather than adding extra filling in it. I also prefer, if you do prefer to have it more filled, that's fine as well. However, I wouldn't add too much of filling because that will not really look great, and the shape might also look different in that case. So we just want it nicely gently filled so it's nicely visible when it's hung, wherever it's being hung. So you just go doing one each like we did in the coaster. You're doing exactly the same thing that we did in the coaster, but we are now doing it through 2 layers. So making sure that you're not missing any of the layers while you're doing this. Until you get to the corner space, you've got to keep doing to the crochet. Now I'm into my corner space here. So into my corner space, I'm going to do 1 double crochet. Then I'm going into the same space, I'm going to do another half treble. So that's yarn over. You'll have 3 loops, and then you yarn overing and pulling through all the 3 loops together. That's your half treble, so half double in the USA, and then you do another double crochet. So I've just done 1 double crochet, 1 treble and 1 double crochet into this corner gap. And then I'm going to go to the next chain and carry on doing 1 double crochet each through both the layers, like how I have been doing. So I'm going to do that till I get to the other corner. And when I get to the other corner, I'm going to do the same thing that I have done in this side of the corner. Okay, now while you're doing this, you could gently keep putting these inside so that they don't stay outside when you're doing the final stitching up with your double crochets. So I'm just trying to make sure that they are all inside, and I did not have to stitch them in or anything. I'm only going to stitch up the ones left from my loops, my final color, electric pink. Okay, I'm just nearing my corner now, And again in the corner I'm going to do my double crochet, then a half double, half treble, and then a double crochet again. Okay, so you can see the shape is looking lovely, and my yarns are all inside, but they're still not coming out at all because they're nicely just inside, and even though there are gaps in between, they're still okay. So I'm just going to go into my next space and through both the layers carry on doing my double crochet. And when I get to the top bit, we are going to make the loop. And now before we start making the loop, you got to decide how long you would like your loop to be, because depending on where you want to hang your loop, you've got to think of how long you would like it to be. For example, this one that I've made is about 5 inches height, so I have to create about 10 inches long with my chains. So depending on whether you want to hang it in your car or whether you want to hang it in your room, or how long you want it to be hung, so you could create it longer or shorter. Okay, so I've reached the top bit now here, as you can see, and I'm now going to make my loop from here. So I'm going to make a few chains as long as I want them and come back here and slip stitch into the other side. So I'm going to slip stitch here first. Okay, and then I'm going to make my loop, so as long as I wish it to be. So I think I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter than the one I've made it before, just so as that I can use it for something different. But yes, I would like it to be a little bit longer. Yeah, this much, I think this should be okay. Okay, so then I have to come back this way and hang it like this. Okay, so I'm making a few more loops, maybe chains. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, now I'm just making sure that my chains are flat, and then I'm going to come around like this, and I'm going to slip stitch into the same chain space where I started, and I'm going to slip stitch into it. And then I'm going to cut my yarn off and just going to pull this through. I'm just going to check if this looks like how I want it to look. Yes, so this is a bit shorter than the one I have made before, and yes, I can hang it somewhere else, or I could use it as a key ring, and I need to sew my ends in just for these 2 yarns as well. And that way I've got beautiful colors to gift to somebody, or to keep for myself, to use it around the house in different purposes. And you could always not only make the loop on the top and just add a tag on top of it. You could add your key rings onto this, or you could just add it to a bag. You could always make sure that it's quite a big, funky and a very colorful item, which is not going to get lost in your bags either. So if you're hanging onto your keys or something, it's very easy to spot and looks very colorful. And it's a fun project to make for anyone, beginner friendly project where you want to try something new, quick and fun. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this project. Bye for now.